the jewels in Ireland's crown, an industry where behind the glistening exterior lurks a world of vicious exploitation, wholesale and deliberate illegality, ruthless vested interests and criminal behaviour, without any proper oversight or regulation. And yet tens of millions of citizens' money continues to be pumped into it every year. Now, ironically, on the very day when your government facilitated the last tranche of cash being sanctioned, the week before Christmas, when questions were being asked in this House about the flagrant breaches of working conditions in the industry, we had the amazing and happy coincidence, actually, that an agreement nonetheless, a collective agreement, was announced that very day between the Irish Stable Staff Association and the Irish Racehorse Trainers Association to reassure us all that the problems have been solved, nothing to see here. Of course, that was a sham, a conjuring trick. The Stable Staff Association, despite being on the board of Horse Racing Ireland, are not a trade union or a negotiating body. They have no effective membership, don't ballot any members, have no employees, no annual reports. You can't even join it through their website. The Trainers Association, well, we're told the lads have to be registered through the Turf Club and they couldn't be charging any less favourable rates. That's not true. The Turf Club plays no role over wages and conditions in the industry. In fact, when they wrote out to the trainers last year looking for the P60s and the returns of staff who were paid more than €25,000 in order to distribute a pension scheme, they got back 300 names. 300 people earning more than €25,000 in a multi-billion euro industry with thousands of workers. How could that be? So they wrote again. They lowered the horizon to 12,500 and got another couple of hundred, 800 in total. Now, what I'm asking you is, where are all those staff? 800 people in that industry. I'll tell you where they are. They're buried in the bowels of the black economy. Cash in hand, on the dole, racing allowances agreed with revenue as tax-free expenditure being calculated as part of the minimum wage. No contracts, no tea breaks, no timesheets. An industry so brazen that the collective agreement itself actually advertises illegality. Now, Taoiseach, there's something very rotten at the heart of Irish horse racing, and we haven't fully figured it out. But we're actually learning more and more every day. And what I want to know from you is, are you willing to help? Are you willing to launch a coordinated, multi-agency swoop on the industry involving officials from NERA, Revenue, the Department of Agriculture and the Health and Safety Authority? Because that is what is absolutely necessary.
Taoiseach.
Well, you've raised a number of issues there that I don't have the detail of. But to answer your question, we have rules and regulations and laws in this country in terms of employers and employees and minimum wages and regulations that govern those things. These are, it's necessary that these things would operate as they should. I'd be happy to follow through in finding out the issues that you quite validly raise here. I'm not too sure that it's necessary to have a swoop, as you call it, but clearly there's an issue to be addressed. And if there is the extent of black economy that you're talking about, and if there are the numbers of people working in the industry at below minimum rates, then clearly this is something that we have to look at. If you send me the information you have, Deputy Daly, I'll be happy to, insofar as I can, follow through on that.
Here, you're right. I raised detailed points which I wouldn't expect you to know, but I do expect you to follow up on it. And the point I'm making very clearly is that this is a task beyond you. The whole-scale illegality is a very open secret in the industry, and it won't be sorted by one individual or one agency. It requires a multi-task force to go in and intervene to ensure that our laws are being upheld, because they actually aren't. I would suggest that what might be advisable is a confidential hotline to allow those inside the industry to speak up, those good trainers who want to adhere to the law, who want to pay the rates but are being viciously undercut by the black market, the staff who are virtually indentured slaves, and the small owners and trainers who are sometimes the backbone of employment in rural areas at times, who want to play a role. They will give you the information. But sadly, your government's response has been to appoint a horse race in Ireland the very people connected with Coolmore and the big players in the industry, the vested interests at the top. That's what you've appointed a horse race in Ireland. You won't get the answers from that. You need outside, independent scrutiny.
Taoiseach, to conclude.
The point that the Irish horse racing industry of exceptional importance to the Irish economy, to the reputation of Ireland internationally, and has proven itself over very, very many years. You raise a particular point here. I'd be happy to receive that information from you, Deputy Daly, and to ask that the agencies and ministers involved would actually follow up on it. Clearly, there's a facility there at the moment for people who wish to make either protected disclosures or give confidential information.